a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Your full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of your CNC local news page. Governor Andrew Cuomo ceremonially re-signed the NY SAFE Act Wednesday at Rochester City Hall, also hailed what he called President Obama's common sense measures to strengthen federal gun laws. The president's plan is similar to New York's Secure Ammunition and Firearms Enforcement Act, just adopted this week. It seeks to restore the federal assault weapons ban and to ban possession of high-capacity ammunition magazines. The president also wants universal background checks for all gun sales, which is another provision of the New York law. Governor Cuomo said many of the illegal guns in New York come from out of state. I strongly applaud the president's proposal for tougher gun trafficking laws that will help end the proliferation of lethal weapons across state lines. While police and other officials met with the governor inside, opponents of the new state firearms law marched outside. They said their rights and property are being taken since a type of weapon they bought legally is being outlawed after the fact. That's one of the points raised by Buffalo attorney James Tresmond, who says he will ask the U.S. District Court in Buffalo to enjoin the law from taking effect until the court rules if it's constitutional. Tresmond says he's doing this on his own with volunteer help from some other lawyers. He hopes to put together a class action lawsuit against NY SAFE. He says he believes the law won't pass constitutional muster and also won't be effective in preventing mass shooting incidents. The Wall Street Journal also reports that gun advocates associated with the National Rifle Association are considering a lawsuit to challenge the NY SAFE Act. Meanwhile, Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott took out ads in Albany and New York City, inviting law-abiding New York gun owners to move to Texas, along with their legal weapons. One ad reads, "Is Governor Cuomo looking to take your guns? Are you a lawful New York gun owner seeking lower taxes?" It then goes on to say that with a stronger economy and lower taxes, Texas will let you keep more of what you earn and use some of that extra money to buy more ammo. The total amount of toxic chemicals released by industries across New York State decreased by nearly 13% between 2010 and 2011, according to figures released by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA's annual Toxics Release Inventory report, the TREE, tracks all the nation's facilities that have to report their emissions to land, air, and water. For New York, that includes 658 industrial sites. Total releases to land, air, and water by these facilities decreased by nearly 13%, from about 21.4 million pounds in 2010 to just over 18.9 million pounds in 2011. EPA says a major factor in this reduction, the shift from burning coal to natural gas by power plants, because natural gas has gotten so cheap. That helped drive down total air releases from power plants by 8%. A memorial service will be held Thursday for Blake Cognata, the Fairport High School senior who died last weekend from a rare form of cancer, Ewing's sarcoma. He would have turned 18 on Monday. The Fairport High School senior's year-long fight against cancer galvanized the Fairport community after he was diagnosed last February. His memorial mass is at 2:30 at St. John of Rochester Church in Fairport, and the service will be shown by closed circuit at Fairport High for students and their families. A Rochester man has been arrested in connection with an accident 9 months ago that caused his mother's death. 49-year-old Edward Smith was arrested after being indicted on charges of second-degree murder, second-degree manslaughter, second-degree vehicular manslaughter, and driving with ability impaired by drugs. Police say Smith was high when he was driving on South Avenue last March, went off the road and hit a tree. He had 2 passengers in the car, one of them his 88-year-old mother, who died of her injuries. The other passenger was in the back seat and received only minor injuries. Rochester police are looking into a couple of incidents that happened early Thursday morning. They're looking for a driver who crashed into a house on First Street, then took off. The driver first hit another car, went out of control, went through a yard, then into the house, ran off on foot. A woman in the house was taken for a medical check as a precaution, and police are talking to witnesses. And one person's in the hospital after an early Thursday morning shooting on Lyle Avenue in Rochester. City police say somebody opened fire with a shotgun at a car stopped in front of a convenience store about 1 in the morning. The victim was in that car and was driven to the hospital with what police say are non-life-threatening injuries. The store has security cameras. Police have that video and they're reviewing it. To the left of the player window, links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links for you to use to post us news and information. We are a community news resource, so let us know about business openings, wedding and birth announcements. That's all of interest to us. Next news is as it happens. Updates are when necessary, and you help us be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.